I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda. Change for good. And I embrace that and I enjoy that change. I don't fear it.
On the brink of financial collapse, Harry secretly called William begging to be allowed back into the royal family in hopes of securing a way out for himself. But then Meghan spoke out, making everything worse than ever, as her scheme to turn the tables was completely exposed. Despite sophisticated attempts to manipulate the media and polish their public image, the confrontation continued to spiral into a ruthless war fought in both the courtroom and the court of public opinion. Outrage, malicious smears, and an overwhelming wave of fierce criticism from the public have unleashed a storm sweeping across both Montecito and the British royal palace. Will William's uncompromising decision be enough to completely shut down these schemes for personal gain? And just how heavy a price will Harry or Meghan be forced to pay as their scandal-ridden marriage officially comes to an end? Stay with us until the very end to witness their penniless downfall and uncover the shocking truth hidden behind the British royal family. The global online community has been buzzing with endless speculation as wave after wave of rumors continues to surround Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Multiple insider sources have unanimously claimed that the couple's marriage is now on the verge of a complete collapse after years together. But the crisis extends far beyond emotional cracks in their relationship. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are also said to be facing an extremely severe financial crisis. The pressure has reportedly become so overwhelming that they have quietly and secretly put their luxurious $14.5 million mansion in Montecito, California, up for sale in a desperate attempt to rescue their rapidly deteriorating financial situation. It was against this backdrop of total desperation that everything quickly escalated to a dramatic breaking point within the privacy of their own home. Meghan Markle accidentally uncovered a shocking secret about her husband. Unbeknownst to her, Harry had secretly picked up the phone and reached out to Prince William, the very brother they had spent years openly confronting. During that confidential conversation, filled with desperate pleas, Harry reportedly agreed to make an extraordinary concession. He was willing to surrender every one of his prestigious royal titles. His only objective was to beg his brother William for a lifeline, to give him an opportunity to return to the British royal family while helping him completely sever every legal and emotional tie binding him to Meghan Markle. The moment this secret came to light, it officially ignited an explosion of fury and set off the next chain of devastating events. What will Meghan Markle do to salvage her reputation and strike back against what she sees as Harry's secret betrayal? In an effort to salvage her rapidly crumbling public image, following a barrage of rumors surrounding marital troubles and financial turmoil, Meghan Markle immediately took the initiative to step into the media spotlight with remarkable confidence and determination. Appearing alone in an exclusive televised interview, Meghan firmly declared that her marriage to Prince Harry remained stronger than ever, and that there was absolutely no truth to the malicious rumors claiming their relationship was falling apart. Looking directly into the camera, she stated with conviction, "I want to make one thing absolutely clear. The bond between Harry and me remains incredibly strong and unshakable. Every false report suggesting that our marriage is in trouble or that we are facing financial hardship is nothing more than a baseless fabrication designed to tear our family down. We are still building a happy and stable home together here in America." But Meghan did not stop at simply denying the rumors. She also stunned public opinion by using the opportunity to unveil an ambitious new media campaign. She officially announced that she would soon be launching an entirely new, exclusive reality documentary series through a strategic partnership with one of the world's largest online streaming platforms. What drew even greater attention and caused the biggest stir was her deliberate decision to incorporate the prestigious title, the Duchess of Sussex, directly into the documentary's official title. Speaking proudly about the project, Meghan declared, "The upcoming reality documentary from the Duchess of Sussex will offer an authentic, never-before-seen look into our lives. This is an exclusive project that I have devoted tremendous passion to in partnership with the world's leading streaming platform. Most notably, in what appeared to be an unprecedented attempt to prove beyond all doubt that her family life remained perfect and filled with happiness, Meghan made an extraordinarily bold decision unlike anything she had done before. For the very first time, she publicly revealed highly private footage of her two young children, Archie and Lilibet, images that had never before been shown to the public on global television. Carefully edited scenes of the children playing and sharing everyday family moments were intentionally woven throughout the documentary. Meghan emphasized during the broadcast, "For the very first time, the public will witness these incredibly precious private moments of Archie and Lilibet." Their presence in a documentary bearing the title of The Duchess of Sussex is the clearest possible proof of the perfect life filled with love that we continue to cherish together. However, immediately after presenting this carefully crafted portrait of domestic bliss, Meghan swiftly reversed the narrative and cast herself as a helpless victim suffering under relentless oppression. From the idealized world she had just painted, she suddenly redirected her attack straight toward the British royal family. Meghan openly accused both the palace and Prince William personally of subjecting her and Harry to continuous psychological abuse over an extended period of time. Using words that were as sharp as they were bitter, she publicly smeared her husband's older brother before a worldwide audience. The truth is that we have been forced to endure horrific psychological abuse coming directly from the palace, and Prince William himself is the one behind these pressures. William has deliberately used his position and the absolute power that comes with being heir to the throne to drive a wedge between two brothers and isolate us. He has repeatedly orchestrated dirty media tactics to push Harry into a corner, deliberately trying to destroy my family while we have been living happily together here in Montecito. It is an act of cruelty. How will Prince William and the public respond to Meghan's calculated media offensive and her open challenge against and public attack on the heir to the British throne? Meghan Markle's blatant attempt to profit from the media while directly attacking and smearing the honor of the heir to the throne immediately sent Prince William into a state of furious outrage. No longer willing to remain silent in the face of baseless accusations that distorted the dignity of the royal family, William promptly convened an emergency meeting with the Senior Legal Advisory Office of the Prince of Wales. Inside his office, the prince gave firm instructions to his top legal team to develop the strongest possible legal measures to protect the core reputation of his family. William's uncompromising stance made it clear that the palace's tolerance had finally reached its absolute limit in the face of the toxic media tactics coming out of Montecito. Immediately following that tense internal meeting, Prince William took the unprecedented step of issuing a direct public and forceful warning through media outlets representing the royal household. In his official statement, William did not attempt to avoid the issue. Instead, he addressed the heart of the matter head-on with an exceptionally serious and resolute tone. The Prince of Wales declared before the public, "The British royal family and the office of the Prince of Wales will not tolerate any attempt to defame or distort the truth for the purpose of commercializing this family. I am issuing this serious and unequivocal warning, demanding that Meghan Markle cease using the royal family as well as her own children as tools to enhance her public image or pursue personal financial gain on online platforms. The privacy of our family members and the honor of the monarchy represent an absolute red line that cannot be crossed for any economic interest whatsoever." This stern declaration from the heir to the throne landed like a bucket of ice water poured directly over Meghan's self-congratulatory media campaign. At the very same time that the palace delivered its uncompromising response, the global public and online communities erupted with an overwhelming wave of harsh criticism directed squarely at what they viewed as Meghan Markle's selfish manipulation. Across live-stream discussions and major social media platforms, people expressed intense outrage over her carefully calculated documentary. Many openly condemned her as both a terrible daughter-in-law and a terrible mother. Royal supporters and neutral observers alike flooded comment sections with scathing remarks. Meghan Markle truly is the worst daughter-in-law in history, constantly exploiting the title of Duchess of Sussex that her husband's family bestowed upon her, only to turn around and attack, smear, and bite the very family she married into just to make money and pay off her mansion debts. And that's not all. She is also a terrible mother, selfish to a frightening degree for using her own very young children as props in front of the camera, blatantly exploiting them to serve the commercial interests of her personal brand. The public's outrage continued to intensify as more and more people concluded that the victim image Meghan had worked so hard to create was nothing more than an artificial facade. The public relentlessly condemned what they viewed as her ruthless violation of Archie and Lilibet's privacy. Across major news outlets, people spoke with one united voice. It is completely unacceptable for a mother driven by money and fame to expose her children's private lives on global television while disregarding their privacy and future. She constantly claims she is protecting her children, yet she has turned them into exclusive commercial content for a streaming platform. Meghan Markle's selfish manipulation has reached the very bottom of moral decline. This widespread rejection by the public demonstrated that Meghan had completely failed in her attempt to win sympathy. Instead, she had pushed herself into the worst reputational crisis she had ever faced. Faced with Prince William's uncompromising warning and the relentless storm of public condemnation. How will Prince Harry's attitude begin to change as he witnesses the full truth about his wife unfold before his eyes? Everything that had unfolded across the media in recent days, every calculated move and every public spectacle had now been laid completely bare before Prince Harry, triggering a devastating psychological earthquake within him. Watching his own wife, Meghan Markle, calmly place their two children, Archie and Lilibet, on global television and turn them into instruments of commercialization for her own financial interests struck him like a crushing emotional blow. Harry had always been someone deeply committed to protecting his children's privacy above all else. Yet now, he was forced to watch their own mother transform them into exclusive commercial content for a streaming platform in order to elevate her personal brand. And as if that were not enough, he also had to endure Meghan's repeated public attacks, insults, and malicious accusations aimed directly at Prince William, the very brother Harry had only recently called in secret, desperately pleading for help. Harry's initial shock quickly evolved into overwhelming anguish. He painfully realized that every effort he had made to repair the fractured relationship, every desperate plea he had made to his brother in search of a way out for his family, had been completely destroyed by Meghan's selfishness and relentless ambition. As he watched the tide of public opinion erupt before his eyes, that profound emotional pain rapidly transformed into a level of fury unlike anything he had experienced throughout their years together. Harry could no longer accept that his wife, driven by money and an obsessive desire to win at all costs, was willing to trample on the honor of the royal family, directly attack the heir to the throne, and rob their children of a peaceful future. The anger that had built up inside him finally allowed him to see through Meghan's manipulative nature, a woman willing to turn everyone around her, including her own flesh and blood, and her husband's family, into mere pawns in a dirty media game. Meanwhile, behind the closed doors of the Montecito mansion, Meghan found herself experiencing an emotional collapse unlike anything she had anticipated. The confidence she had displayed before the cameras only hours earlier had begun to dissolve into growing disbelief as she watched the public narrative slip completely beyond her control. Every new headline, every viral comment, and every wave of criticism flooding social media seemed to strike directly at the image she had worked so relentlessly to construct. Rather than witnessing admiration for what she believed was a carefully orchestrated media triumph, she was confronted with a world that increasingly viewed her actions as calculated exploitation. For the first time in years, Meghan realized that the strategy she had trusted above everything else, controlling the narrative through publicity, was no longer producing the results she expected. The more she attempted to defend herself, the louder the accusations became. The more she insisted she was protecting her family, the more critics questioned whether she had instead sacrificed her children's privacy for commercial gain. That realization did not bring acceptance. Instead, it fueled an overwhelming mixture of frustration, resentment, and panic. As Harry's attitude grew noticeably colder, Meghan could sense that something inside him had fundamentally changed. His silence was no longer the silence of confusion or hesitation. It was the silence of someone quietly reaching a final conclusion. Every unanswered glance across the room, every conversation abruptly cut short, and every growing emotional distance between them intensified her fear that she was losing not only control of the public narrative, but also the last remaining influence she still held over her husband. It was precisely at that moment of absolute crisis that a long overdue yet decisive awakening finally came to the exiled prince. Harry bitterly realized that his marriage to Meghan Markle had truly reached its end. It had been irreparably shattered, with no possibility of saving it. Every bond of affection, trust, and even the most basic mutual respect between husband and wife had completely collapsed following Meghan's calculated media offensive. Faced with a choice between a wife who repeatedly exploited opportunities for personal gain while attacking and defaming his family, and on the other side his own children and the honor of the monarchy, Harry made a definitive decision. He turned his back on Meghan completely and gave his full support to every firm and uncompromising measure introduced by his brother William and the palace to permanently shut down these harmful schemes. How will Harry's support for Prince William's uncompromising measures lead to a shocking legal declaration, and what ultimate fate awaits Meghan Markle? At last, every ounce of the British royal family's patience had been completely exhausted by Meghan Markle's repeated acts of profiteering and relentless attacks against the monarchy. Under the decisive leadership of the Prince of Wales, William's office worked in close coordination with Buckingham Palace to officially issue a sweeping and definitive legal declaration designed to impose a complete and uncompromising blockade. This ultimate disciplinary measure immediately stripped both the Duke and Duchess of Sussex of every remaining royal title privilege and official association they still held with the British royal family. Before the international media and the global public, Prince William, speaking on behalf of the palace, firmly delivered the powerful legal declaration that would determine the couple's fate. After carefully reviewing the serious violations of royal conduct agreements and the deliberate exploitation of the royal family's reputation for commercial purposes, the Office of the Prince of Wales, in coordination with Buckingham Palace, hereby issues an official legal declaration imposing a complete prohibition on all activities carried out by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in the name of the royal family. Effective immediately, every royal title and honor, including the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex, held by both individuals, shall be completely revoked and shall permanently cease to have any legal validity. The British royal family will bear no responsibility whatsoever for and hereby severs all connections with any of their exclusive media projects or private commercial activities. This is the highest legal decision effective immediately taken to safeguard the absolute dignity of the crown. William's uncompromising declaration officially brought an end to every remaining opportunity for Meghan to manipulate the media while simultaneously accelerating the collapse of their scandal-ridden marriage. Inside the Montecito estate, Meghan received the devastating news in complete silence. For several long moments, she remained motionless, struggling to comprehend the magnitude of what had just unfolded. The legal declaration did not merely represent another public relations setback. It symbolized the complete collapse of the royal identity upon which so many of her recent projects had been built. Every ambitious plan she had envisioned around that royal association suddenly appeared to crumble before her eyes, leaving behind a future clouded by uncertainty and isolation. Shock quickly gave way to anger. Meghan found herself replaying every decision that had led to this moment, refusing to believe that events had spiraled so dramatically beyond her control. She had believed that public exposure, media attention, and carefully crafted storytelling would strengthen her position. Instead, those very strategies had become the catalyst for unprecedented backlash. The overwhelming rejection from audiences, combined with the palace's uncompromising response, left her increasingly aware that the campaign intended to restore her public image had produced precisely the opposite effect. As reports confirmed that Harry had already begun preparing to leave, another wave of emotion swept over her. The realization that the person who had once stood beside her through years of controversy had now chosen a different path struck with unexpected force. The growing emptiness inside the mansion suddenly reflected the emotional distance that had gradually developed between them. Every quiet hallway and every room that had once symbolized a fresh beginning now served as painful reminders of a partnership that had unraveled piece by piece under relentless public scrutiny. Yet even in the face of overwhelming isolation, Meghan refused to outwardly acknowledge defeat. She remained determined to preserve whatever fragments of her reputation she still believed could be salvaged. But beneath that outward determination lingered a growing awareness that rebuilding trust, both publicly and privately, would prove far more difficult than constructing a carefully managed public image. For the first time since leaving royal life, she found herself confronting a future in which influence, recognition, and public sympathy could no longer be secured simply through another media appearance or another carefully planned project. The cost of every decision had finally become impossible to escape, and the consequences now stood before her with a permanence she could neither ignore nor easily undo. Immediately after the legal ruling was announced, Prince Harry packed his belongings and moved into a completely separate residence in preparation for officially filing for divorce from Meghan Markle. Emerging from the ruins of his marriage, Harry found himself completely penniless, stripped of his titles without any jointly held assets in the United States, and facing an extraordinarily uncertain future. Nevertheless, because of his timely awakening and his willingness to cooperate with the palace beforehand, his older brother, Prince William, welcomed him back with open arms, shielding him from the relentless storm of public criticism and embracing him once again as family. William's protection became the only lifeline that allowed Harry to find his way back after years of being lost. While Harry was guided back under the protection of his family, Meghan Markle's fate proved to be utterly devastating. In complete contrast to her grand ambitions of building a global personal brand, Meghan became the target of an unprecedented and merciless wave of boycotts from both the public and major strategic partners. Having been completely stripped by the palace of the title Duchess of Sussex, her reality documentary lost its core commercial value, leading audiences everywhere to turn their backs on the project. Across the world, from mainstream media to online communities, people spoke with one voice, condemning, isolating, and refusing to tolerate her repeated attacks against her husband's family or her use of her children for financial gain. Meghan Markle found herself completely isolated inside the Montecito mansion, She had attempted to flee to confronting the total collapse of her reputation, career, and family under the overwhelming pressure of global public outrage. How do you feel about Meghan Markle's actions, as well as the decisive reversal by Prince Harry and Prince William in this storyline? In your opinion, what meaning or deeper lesson do these shocking events reveal about family relationships and the price of unchecked ambition? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click on the next video appearing on your screen. You're going to enjoy it.